All right, so this is my update from my build and public log. I'm really excited for today because I'm going to show you the progress I've made this week in the last few days. And I'm going to show how I build a newsletter, like a custom bespoke newsletter from scratch. I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works. So yeah, let's jump into it. So first of all, I basically have the website for the newsletter built. What is the newsletter? It's called Random Daily URLs. If you remember, if you're kind of old like me, and you remember Stumble Upon, this was a service where you would like click a button and you would randomly be taken to like really cool, interesting websites and things across the internet. It's kind of like that, but as a newsletter. So the idea is every day you're going to get an email with like one really cool random URL that takes you to a cool thing that you can go see and play around with. Um, and the idea is like every morning you can go, every morning, one day, Monday through Friday, not the weekends, uh, you just discover something cool and interesting on the internet. Human curated, there's no AI, which is kind of funny because that's my thing is doing AI stuff. It's just like a curated, no algorithms, no like selling you crap, just cool content across the internet every day. That's kind of my thing that I've done. I've ran newsletters for like 4 years. I sold off two of my newsletters, the last two, which were about art. It was the same concept. Every day I'd email you art, one little piece of art. And what happened was this became part of people's daily routine. So you'd wake up in the morning and you would just click and see one nice piece of art. Maybe you discover a new artist. The idea is the same, but like for random cool content across the internet. What have I done? I built the website, which is an important piece of it because the website powers the newsletter. So it's kind of wacky. I'm going for like a really brutalistic theme and fun, cartoony, brutalistic uh, aesthetic and design. It's not for everybody. I dig it. I don't know. There's like a certain design aesthetic now where it's like tailwind and shad cn and there's like this look. I'm sure you've noticed across the internet. Fuck that. I want to go like fly in the face of that and do something like brutalistic. So you go here and you type in your email address and you subscribe. There is an archive. This is like every single day, so you'll be able to go and browse all the previous. This is all a work in progress. This is not 100% done, and this is all fake. This is not real. But you'll be able to come and see like every day. So you'll be able to go like click and see like, oh, okay, cool. Um, yeah, pretty straightforward. So that this will be like this is the site or the thing for today's newsletter. That's for a few days ago, but yeah, this is all kind of local as I build this out. Oh, I need to fix that. You could submit a site. So if you know of a cool random site, submit it. I'll look at it, and if it's cool, I'll throw it in to the newsletter. Okay, so how does this all work? How I build a newsletter is I do it all myself. So people often will ask me because I have experience running newsletters. I see people asking all the time, or people have asked me, what platform should I use? Should I use Substack or Beehive? Like, should I use a service? And my answer would be, well, what is the newsletter going to be about? If it's just like I'm going to write and then like send the subscribers like a long form thing to read, yeah, go with Substack. But what are you gonna send? Is it like marketing? Like what are you trying to accomplish? So you gotta first of all like work backwards. Like what is your newsletter about? Mine is like a weird random thing where like I send you with an email every day and it has art or a website. Um, could I go with like a standard service? Yes, but okay, so here's the thing. When you send emails, a lot of emails, my previous newsletter, I sent an email 7 days a week to thousands of people around the world. That yeah, that adds up, and that's tens and tens of thousands of emails a month. It's very expensive. So I couldn't afford to use like Mailchimp or something like that. It's just too fucking expensive to send tens of thousands of emails a month. So I'm a control freak. I want deep control over everything, everything. So I rolled my own system. I that's what I'm doing here again. I'm using the same thing. I use an email software that is responsible for sending, like, you build the campaign. So a campaign is like an automated email every day. I use software for that, custom software. Not the best software, but I self-host it. I prepaid for the software. It is like just running on my server. It it's already paid for. It's super cheap. So what I do is I set up an email to go out every day. The software has the list of emails, and I send that off to SendGrid. I don't mess around and trying to do that myself. There's a lot to that. That's not worth the pain. I think you're better off going with AWS, which is the very, 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 very cheapest, or SendGrid, or one of these third party like email senders. Their job is to make sure the email gets delivered to the subscriber. I would not dare try to fuck with that these days. Just pay someone. If you really, really, really need cheap, go with AWS. So, anyways, I have my own software running on my own server. It manages the list, and it sends off. It builds the email every day and it sends it off to SendGrid. That's it. Very simple. So how does this work? I have an email template that I make myself. Like I said, I do everything myself. So I use something called MJML, and this is a like markup template language where you build an email once and it compiles to like the crazy ass HTML for emails. So it looks in like Outlook, it works in all the email clients on mobile, on desktop. There's a lot of nice templates and examples. I use this. It it's a good open source way to build an email once and have it work everywhere. Is it perfect? No. Are there weird email clients where it might not be working? Yes. But this is like an industry standard way of building emails that will work for like 99% of people. So what I do is I go and I build the template. I like get it to where I want it to be, and that software I use fills in the details, like the unsubscribe link, the email, the like links. So what I do is I build the template and I check it into Git. So I every time I make a change, I commit it. So there's like a version control. And what I do is so in the software it lets you import from a URL. I created an API endpoint where my markup lives in the code, and it's locked down. So like only the server here can actually only the software where the website lives. The website lives the same place the email software, so it's open to this, but it's blocked from the internet. I put in the link anytime I make a change that's checked into Git on GitHub. I import the new template and it fills in the details. Like you can see, like the JSON. So how it works is there is an endpoint every day. So every day the email software goes to create an email, and it goes hey, I need the JSON to build today's email. There's an endpoint that has the data for that day. If it pulls that in, builds the email, and it sends it to the list. And how it does that is it just programmatically goes through the list, sends it off to SendGrid, which then sends it to the actual user. Like I said, everything's bespoke. I do this, why? Because it's cheap as fuck. There was a lifetime thing where I paid for the software, you self-host it. I self-hosted in Docker on my own server. It was really cheap. I paid for it one time, done. All I pay for is SendGrid, so I have a plan. It's like $30 to $50 a month to send tens and tens of thousands of emails. Yes, it's not free, but it's fucking cheap compared to like Beehive or all these like things that you do this all yourself. I'm a software engineer. I like to build shit, so I build the template myself. I've done this for 20 years. 20 years ago, I was building HTML emails and sending them to millions of people. It's what I've done for 20 years. It's what I know. It's what I do. And the website, it's responsible for building the JSON for the email every day. It's responsible for collecting the emails. It's responsible for showing off each edition, like in the archive. It does everything. So there's a contact form. You can contact me. There is a submission form. When you subscribe to here, there's a lot of abuse. There's a lot of bots now. So they're on the website in Node, essentially. When you type this in, there's a bunch of security behind the scene that checks to see if you're a bot. And I have a lot of tricks that I've learned over the years, like how the hell do you stop the bots? I won't go into all of those tricks. Obviously, Cloudflare is a big part of it, but there's all these checks. So when you hit the submit, when you hit the subscribe, that goes to my own code that I've developed over the years. It checks everything. Is this a bot? It goes to all these checks. Oh, okay, this looks like a legit entry. Then it pushes that email and contact information into that list on the software, the emailing software, and you're subscribed. You get an email that is like, hey, please subscribe, like please click this to opt in because you need that, or too many bots can still get through this. You need to double opt in just to be on the safe side to prevent spam. They click yes, I'm on a subscribing, you're on the mailing list. Even that transaction email, I build that template myself. There it is. This is the email. You click, boop, confirm subscription, you're on the email and done. And that's it. I set it and forget it. So one thing I'm really excited about for this newsletter is I felt a lot of pain with the CMS and the data entry. So what I like to do is for these newsletters that I've done is I would queue things up. So I would like usually on the weekends I would queue up the every email or the content that's going to be in the email. I would do it on the weekend for the next week. So I'd schedule things because I don't want to fuck around and do that every day. Like I'm very busy, so I would just like sit down for like an hour and queue up the next week or two. Sometimes like if I'm going on vacation or I'm going to be away, I'd queue up like maybe a couple of weeks. So the one thing I'm doing differently about this newsletter is I want a real CMS just for me. This is only for me, only for admins. This is locked down. You can't log in on the internet. There is going to be a content calendar. So it's like, hey, there's no content on the weekends. This is all local, knocked out. There's not really going to be multiple entries, but I'll be able to select a day and add the content right here and add like the categories, the tags, add the like description, the URL, and schedule it. What this does is it pushes it to a real database, and the website, pulls in the database, like pulls in, the data from the database, builds the JSON for the email every day. So that JSON endpoint is just like that day's entry. It's like, here's your data to build the email today. Very, very straightforward. The one interesting thing about this, for the art, it's fine. Like I put in the information. The art is stored on my CDN, so there's a CDN that I use. It pulls from the CDN, it puts it into the email. No big deal. I could blast out 10,000 if I wanted to. The art, it just goes to the CDN, but a lot of email clients like cache the images. No worries. Like, millions of people can go to the website. It was static. It would be able to handle millions of traffic. Like, it was fine. But here's the interesting thing is, like, I'm going to be sending URLs to people to go to like these small random indie like URLs, like, because this is going to be like cool, interesting things that people are building. It's not going to be like commercial. It's going to be like cool little experiments or little fun things. I can't like overwhelm these websites. So, like, let's say this newsletter gets popular. Let's say there's 10,000. I can't blast an email to 10,000 people and have 10,000 people go click the link. What do I do? So I'm trying to be clever. I want like a backup so you can click and go to like in the email, it's going to show you in the email, it's going to show you um and this is what the email is going to look like, by the way. It's like super brutalistic again. Hopefully it's not too offensive where people don't won't open it, but you'll click this and you'll go see that website. But I need a backup because what if I crash the website? So I need to be very like mindful of like not sending thousands of people to it. So there's going to be like an internet archive backup ideally. And when I enter the URL into the CMS, what I want is it to kick off a backup for the Internet Archive. So if like you go to click this and oh shit, the site is down, too many people are looking at, you can click the backup link and still like have the experience of still see the website. I'm gonna also have it go make a screenshot, and you might see the image in the email. I don't know, we'll see. So what I'm working on is a way to like stagger the emails throughout like a 24-hour period. So that way I'm not overwhelming that poor website owner with like millions of, hits. I don't know. I need to figure that part out. At the beginning, who cares? But I need to be mindful of that because I don't want to like crash people's servers and stuff. So anyways, this is the endpoint. This is the template that gets pulled into that software, like I said, and it builds the email every day. It's pretty cool. It's super cheap. What am I pay? What am I, one? The only thing I'm paying for, like, I'm using Astro for the website. It's just a static site. It's on my server, which the server runs all sorts of stuff. So all I pay for is the server and the raw cost for the number of emails that get sent. Super cheap. It's very, 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 very cheap. All I'm paying is like 20, $30 a month for the emails. That's why I do it myself. It's super cheap. That is how I build my newsletters. Any thoughts, any questions? What do you think? Is this interesting? Um, Let me know in the comments. So that's it for today. On to my random story for today. So this will be a really quick one. I'm super excited. It is my partner's birthday, and we are going to a special restaurant. I will let you know how it goes, but the restaurant is you go in and it's pitch black and they guide you to your seat and they serve you. It's like a fancy, multi-course dinner. It's like very fancy. There's like a chef, the menu changes and you get served and you eat in the dark and you have no idea what you're eating. So the idea is you don't see it, you only taste and there's a sensation. I've always wanted to go to this place. We'll see how it goes. What's really cool is you're like, well, how do they serve you? How do the waiters serve you? Do they have night vision or something? No, they have blind waiters. So they're used to just being blind, being in the dark, so it's fine. Really cool. So they get a job and they obviously know how to navigate in the dark. No worries, they're blind. They are the waiters and the staff and they bring you the food and you don't know what you're eating. So that's what I'm doing this evening. I'm super excited. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I've always wanted to go to this place. So it's a famous French restaurant. There's chains in all the big cities. Yeah. Next week is my last week at my freelance job, and then I go on my big vacation for 10 days, probably 2 weeks. I will be away, and then I'm going to focus on growing the newsletter, growing my marketing channel, and growing an AI business, figuring out what people need and building what people need every day, all day. So a lot more to come. Give me a couple weeks and I'll be back to daily updates. So until next time.